Let's wait for a few people to join.
Trey, turn the box. Don't turn the computer. Turn the box. Don't turn the computer. Just do this. When he's playing. But don't go in front of it. Just come on. You're doing it on this side. So it's right center. But when he's playing, come and turn it so we can see him. Oh, okay. Yeah, the box.
Welcome to Scott Celebration of Life. All right, we got some energy here. So if you're here to celebrate Scott, let me hear you. One quick announcement. This quarter, you just watch it. Once it's charged, we're going to get rid of it, but just watch your stuff, all right? All right, so the opening remarks, I actually had printed out most of the stuff I'm doing from memory, but I want to make sure that I capture some things and don't forget. So welcome to Scott Celebration of Life. Woo-hoo! Yes, thank you. Yeah, I love the energy. I want to thank everyone for coming and for Busway Poets for having us today. I am the host for this event. Now, I know some of you have not seen me in 3 decades and may be thinking, who gave him the mic? Now, I assure you it's not a mistake. Things have changed since you last saw me. I'm a performance spoken word artist. It's normal for me to be on the mic. You're in good hands. However, this is my first time hosting an event. Woo! And it's a little different than spitting a couple poems, talking about it. A little different. But when I first started thinking about this event, I was talking to my friend Najee, who was here tonight with us right here. I was telling him a couple stories about Scott, and he said, "You need to host. You have all the stories." I believe that was Scott talking to me through Najee.
Right.
At that moment, instantly, I went from not even thinking of hosting to definitely hosting. This is what Scott would want. He always challenged me to get out of my comfort zone, and me hosting is one way for me to honor him. He wholeheartedly believed in my talent. It was a trait of Scott's to believe in people, and I know many more can relate to this with their own relationships with him. Before I even wrote poems, he said I had dope lyrics. He told me not too long ago, after I spit a couple poems for him, that the world would be in the palm of my hands and one day I would have 1 million followers. He said, "Watch, Eric, you will see, watch." Now his mother, Miss Joyce Glass, and his brother, Justin, and they will be recognized later, but I wanted to mention that they placed full trust in me to do this, and I'm overwhelmed with gratitude for them doing that. This ceremony was constructed with Scott at top of mind all the time. Each performance that you're going to see is a tribute to him. The short descriptions in the program will explain how they are tied back to him. My hope today is that these tributes do Scott, his family, and the rest of the attending today justice. My only goal is for each of you to learn something new about him that you didn't know before, and to feel good and feel as good as you can at the conclusion of the event. I encourage each of you to read the write-up on the inside of the program when you have the chance. I guarantee you that you will learn something you did not know about him by reading that description, or the write-up. He did so much in his lifetime, much of it went unnoticed because he never boasted or bragged about it. Now let me ask y'all ready to get this event started?
Yeah.
I said, y'all ready to get this event started? So, this is not a sit on your hands type of event. We need the energy from the people here. As an artist, I can tell you, the more energy we receive, the more energy you give. So it is okay to make noise. It is okay to have energy. This is not a sit on your hands event. Is that okay?
Yep.
All right. So I want to warm us up with something I want to perform. These are not my lyrics. They are Scott's lyrics. But I'm going to spit it and try to do it justice. It's something he sent me. I can't remember exactly when, but he sent it not that far. Look out. Work hard, play harder. Come on now, let's get it. It's all about the moment. It's all we ever had, so stay in it. You can be anything you want to be, believe and dream. Don't let your life be hollow. Strive for ever clear causes, my friend, and you can be sure the effects will follow. See it, feel it, will it, take action, let go. Let the universe do its magic. Stay present, positive, and be brave. Love every moment. Your life will be tragic. It's all about the journey, my dear. This life is full of magic. That's Scott Russell. All right, so if you're following along in the program, I'm going to intro the next thing we're going to do. So you may notice over to my right is a djembe. You may not know what that is, but it's a West African drum. Scott had one himself. This is my djembe, but he had one himself. He loved playing the djembe, and one day I said, Scott, I'm thinking of buying a djembe. And being who Scott is, anyone that knows him, he overloaded me with information. He's like, yo, Eric, this is where you can buy it. Gave me all this information where to buy it. He told me about the different sizes. It's not all the djembes are the same size. This is a 12-inch. There's a 10-inch, 8-inch, so forth. So he told me what it would do based on the size and so forth. He gave me a lot of information. Maybe more than I needed, but enough to make a purchase. So then I went and bought the djembe. And I sent him a picture and said, yo, Scott, I bought the djembe. Being Scott, who he is, said, let's get on the phone, put it on video. And he put himself on video and showed me, this is how you hold the djembe. He said, how you hit it. He told me the slap, the bass, told me the basics. It was a very good way for me to kick off playing it. Then he said, it plays all these other sounds. And anyone that knows Scott, he was a magician. I am a poet trying to be a musician. That's the difference here. So then he went a little further than I could catch on, and he was saying, 1, 2, just I don't know, he can't even explain what he's saying, but a lot. I said, well, thank you. I don't know if I remember everything, but I appreciate you helping me out. We got off the phone and he said, yo, Eric, here's some videos. He sent me like 2 videos. He said, play these videos. If you play to the beat, it will teach you how to play. Well, today, we're going to play one of the videos while I play the djembe. Now, this is the first time that I played the djembe in public, on stage or otherwise. The only place I put it out in public at all is I worked at the mental health day program. And I did bring it out there for my clients that are diagnosed mentally ill so they could use it as an art form for therapy. But outside of that, never been on stage with the djembe or in public outside of that one place. Good moves on that thing. Yeah. I'm gonna try. Like I said, I'm a poet trying to be a musician. But we're gonna play the video too, so you're gonna see the video that he sent me. It's a Rastaman chant. And anyone that knows me knows I love reggae. Anyone that knows Scott loves reggae. So of course when he sent it, I was like, okay, I hear you. And it also relates, I think, to this event. The last thing I'll say is a drum call can be a way to call the ancestors to be with us. So imagine in the space we have that a safe space has just been created around us from the ancestors while we play this drum. Y'all ready? Guys, just gonna start the video and then we'll get it going. I don't even know if I need a mic at this point. What do y'all think?
You probably do.
Need a mic? Got it. So like I said, Scott was always trying to get me out of my comfort zone. Hosting, playing djembe on stage, that's inspiration from Scott. Now I'm gonna tell you, I have a feeling that I'm gonna start playing the djembe more than I was.
All right.
I tuned it right before this, try to get it right. Now I'm gonna do something a little more comfortable. About the poem. Before I do that, just a few rules for tonight. Like I said, now we got a safe space, right? So that means any emotion is loud. Cry, laugh, smile, whatever you're feeling, that's okay. If any of this event becomes too much for you, you can leave, walk out, not leave the whole thing, but walk out for a minute. If you want it, it's too much, but we hope you come back when you're able. If that's okay, say word. All right, cool. So this poem was written specifically for this event. A little backstory to this. I think it was January, February, we started talking really about this event. I was like, I need to write a poem. I'm definitely going to write a poem for this event. And I tried to get the poem going. It took me a little while. I was writing. I wrote a lot of words, but none of it felt like a poem. And then about 2 Fridays ago, I was in a conference next to my executive director. Couldn't use my phone, had no pen and paper, and the poem just flooded out my mind. I was like, this is the wrong time to be thinking about this poem. But I was inspired. Anyone knows that an artist, you don't catch it when it comes, it's gone. Right? So, and I think that was Scott, because Scott liked to play these kind of jokes, so I think he was inspiring me a long time. I think it was intentional. But anyhow, so I repeated what I was thinking in my head over and over again until I could remember it enough that when the conference ended, I got my phone. Boom. That was Friday, 2 weeks later, poems finished. Monday memorized, and here we are. Well, I memorized like 2 weeks ago. I practiced since then, but poem came very quick after that. Here it is. Hang with us. I will wait to do the poem. Let me figure out the music. How y'all feeling?
All right. How you feeling?
I'm seeing some old friends. I got some new friends here with us. It's a blessing for all of us to be together here. While we're waiting, that's Scott's guitar right there, if you were wondering. I'll see the picture of it. Let's see, what else? Well, at the back of your program, at the bottom, you'll see a place to follow a YouTube channel. Follow that YouTube channel. You can get your phone out now. All you got to do is put in Scott Roosevelt Celebration of Life. And the live stream we're doing, you'll be able to go back and see that if you want. Or if you really liked 1 or 2 performances, I plan on chopping up that live stream and giving, having a video for each individual performance. If you like any of the artists that you saw, we'll put their social media in that video of theirs. All right, cool? We're good? I'll probably talk loud enough that they ain't gonna hear the music anyhow. Here we go. When someone transitions, we cry, filling an ocean with our tears until we drown. Struggling to come up for air, we collapse as life comes crashing down at us. It is hard. It is hard to lose someone. But why is it taboo to have any other emotion? Why are we forbidden to laugh? Why can't we at least have a sense of relief for the one that left? Why is it we feel guilty for simply taking a breath? But what if I broke tradition? What if I changed whose shoes I wore? What if I removed myself from my perspective and instead placed myself on the perspective of the one that left? What if I watched as bricks were lifted from his shoulder? Watched as he broke out of the cage, released with shackles with wings attached? What if I watched Scott fly? What if I watched Scott fly higher than the human experience would allow? What if I watched Scott be God again? Because why would I follow tradition? Scott never gave a damn about tradition. He pushed buttons and tested all the limits and boundaries. Now let me stop right there and ask y'all something. Who here knows Scott? I said, who here knows Scott? I need to hear some noise with that. Who's here for Scott? Now let me ask you, did he test buttons, push limits and boundaries? Is that true of Scott? Yes. He did that to push you to live outside the lines. So why would I write this poem within the lines? This is who he was. He once told me time is a construct. It doesn't exist. We are all immortal. This I believe. I do not believe in an end. I hear him in the beat of the djembe and he taught me how to play. I hear him in the guitar strings that he plucks. I hear his voice in those sweet melodies. I talk to him in my dreams. I do not believe in an end. I believe this is one of many journeys for him. One of many lives that we live together. Scott and I, soul brothers, tall and short, Scorpio and Cancer, black and white, singer and poet. Both of us outsiders in the society. Both of us with the courage of a lion. Both of us with the same caring and bleeding heart. And in this world, having a caring heart is like living in shackles. We also share many of the same beliefs. We talk about every subject you can imagine, from life and death to spirituality and God, to out-of-body experiences and everything in between. In the last few years, I listened to him as he went deep beneath the surface. He came to realize there's more than the human experience. More to life than meets the eye. Existing and experiencing different realities. We can relate to each other's experiences. And without either of us knowing at the time, I now believe that he was preparing for this mission. Much the same as someone trains for a new mission, Scott was doing the same without knowing. This is his call. This is his mission. Scott is a spiritual warrior, well equipped to be God again. He once told me when my father passed, place his image above me. Look up to him, our ancestors watch over us. Say a prayer and hear me. I place Scott's image above me. I pray to him, ask him to guide me from the other side. I have no doubt that he hears me. I have no doubt that he feels me. I have no doubt that he sees me. Why would I doubt it? For 3 decades of friendship, he was always there, lifting me up, providing me advice, instilling confidence in me. He believed in my dreams. He saw what was inside me. He believed in me before I believed in myself. And I now believe he would do the same from the other side. Our human experience is left the memory. The sky is not gone. I do not believe in an end. From his trials to his tribulations to his hard times, from his travels to his journeys to his achievements, Scott lived the life that he was supposed to live. Always with his heart, he lived life to the fullest. And each experience gave him the lessons necessary to prepare him to be God again. And now he is a spiritual being, able to experience what he always wanted. His shoulders are no longer weighted. The cage no longer confines him. Scott Vincent Rosenfeld is released from shackles. With wings attached, he flies. Flies like butterflies in the garden. Flies like cheetahs in the wild. Flies like a hawk that glides in the sky. Scott, God again. Y'all are wondering, this is Scott on the guitar, and him singing. This is him. All right, y'all, give it up for Scott. Oh, that was loud. Give it up for Scott on the guitar. All right, so that was my intro, but now I'm going to get some other people up here. So real quick acknowledgements. I want to acknowledge Scott's mother here with us, Ms. Joyce Glass. So please give it up for her one time. She provided you the space and the food, so thank her for that. I can't imagine what you're going through, but we're here for you. Next is Scott's brother, Justin Rosenfeld. I believe Scott had one request of me to stay in contact with Justin and his mom, and this event helped us do that. The last person I want to acknowledge is Ananje Bowman with us right now. Thank you. He did the flyer, he did the program, he's doing the music, he's doing the sound. He did a whole lot of things for this event. He's my friend from Richmond, and he's a wonderful person. One thing I didn't mention, give it up for him. One thing I didn't mention is he's also a heck of a singer. He's about to sing a song for us. Boys to Men, Water Runs Dry. Scott loved this song the first few times he heard it, we cried. And it's also a reminder of us to tell our loved ones that we love them, don't stay mad at them. That's the message of the song. Here we go. All right, Ananja, you ready?
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
It's wonderful to be here with you guys today. I want to say to Joyce and to Justin, thank you so much for trusting me with helping to put this on for you guys today. I learned a lot. I never met Scott myself, but I'm very good friends with Eric, and I've heard so many stories that I feel like I know him a little bit. So this has been a journey for me as well, learning him and also mourning a person who I believe was just a wonderful influence. So thank you guys so much for that. I did practice it, but I'm gonna have the words with me just in case I forget. So hope you guys like this. We don't even talk anymore. We don't even know what we argue about. We don't even say I love you no more. Saying how we feel is no longer allowed. Why do we hurt each other? Why do we push love away? Let's don't wait till the water runs dry. We might watch our whole lives pass us by. Let's don't wait till the water runs dry. We made the biggest mistake of our life. Don't do it, baby. Ooh. Now they can see the tears in her eyes, but we didn't have the pain that lies deep in our heart. Well, maybe that's a pain we can hide, love. But saying how we feel is no longer allowed. How do we hurt each other? Why do we push love away? Let's go into the water runs dry. We might watch our whole lives pass us by. Let's don't wait till the water runs dry. We made the biggest mistake of our life. Don't do it, baby.
All right, give it up for Najee one more time. All right. So we're going to keep moving along. The next person that is going to come on the mic, she has a million accolades, and I do not have the time to go over them all, so I'm going to let her sing and speak for herself like that. What I want to talk to you about is her friendship. When I heard about Scott, she's the one I talked to probably less than 5 minutes after I heard. I can't remember if I called her or she called me, but we were on the phone. She's like, "What do you need? I'm coming over right now." Fast forward to this week, on Monday, she said, "Yo, E, I'm coming. What do you need me to do?" I said, "I need you to serenade the people." So with no further ado, Nikki McMullen singing Sun and Shining by Bob Marley, which is something Scott loved to sing all the time, Bob Marley.
I know your son very well. Thank you, Ken. And the tributes in music, and Eric talked about how we would have got along great because I'm a full-time professional musician. So, and I said, what do you need me to sing? And oh, thank you. In Scott's voice. So this is him. The sun is shining where he is. Let's listen up. Make you want to move your dancing feet to the rescue. Here I am. Want you to know, y'all, where I stand. Monday morning, here I am. Tuesday evening, here I stand. Oh, Wednesday morning, I tell myself the weather is sweet. Thursday evening, makes me wanna move my dancing feet. But to the rescue, here I am. Want you to know, y'all. Want you to know, just want you to know where I stand. When the sun gathers rain, well, I hope you know you're a rainbow too. But to the rescue, here I am. Want you to know, y'all. Want you to know just where I stand. Shine, forever is sweet. Make you want to do your dancing feet. We lift our hands and give God praise. We lift our hands and give God praise. Tuesday evening, shoot. Wednesday morning, shoot. Thursday evening, shoot. Friday morning, shoot. Saturday evening, shoot. We lift our hands and give God praise. We lift our hands and give God praise.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Nikki McMullen is part of the band with Mighty Joshua, also has her own solo act. Sister Nikki, give it up for Nikki one more time. All right. We got moving on along. So next on the mic is our superstar of the evening, Scott's brother, Justin Rosenfeld. In 3 decades of friendship with Scott, I can count on one hand the number of times he did not mention Justin when we talked. He always mentioned Justin. So Justin's going to read us a brother and a best friend, and I'm even going to hold the mic for him.
On this side. Scott was the coolest and funniest person I ever knew. He was also my big brother and my first best friend. We would play like brothers do when we were little. Like, for instance, when we played Star Wars, he always had to be Han Solo. Of course, it means I was always Luke, so. He's always called me kid and this and that. But, he was always brother like 15 months, so. But he would always stick up for me, no matter what. And, like, for instance, when I was a freshman in high school, him and all his friends were juniors, and they let me sit at their table in the cafeteria. Which I thought was pretty cool, but I was kind of dork, right? And like after Scott graduated, I ended up eating lunch in the library. So, but it was still cool, like, it was a couple of years. But yeah, also, he also, one time he threw like a wild house party for me. I don't know if he's good about that. I think a few people here that were there. But yeah, he also encouraged me to go outside my comfort zone. So right now I'm pretty outside my comfort zone. So Scott, you got me there. We had some great times, and he always encouraged me to dress better and be less shy around women. Mixed results there. I still have vegetables, whatever. We would take trips together, and we used to go to Houston every summer when we were little. And, I think Josh, you were on those trips, right? Yeah, I remember that Josh was in Houston with my brother. Yeah, we go to New York, Atlantic City, Vegas. I can't really talk about that, but the Vegas, we're not there. But, he was always there for me, even when he was like 1,000 miles away. And he would definitely come, fight anybody who would mess with me, so. I think like this guy, he'd fight for you, So, I love you, Scott, and I miss you. And, I wish you were here to see this. I think you are here, I know you're here, You're definitely here, so I love you, Scott. Thank you.
All right. Justin, it's been a blessing. Since we started planning this event, we've talked on the phone at least once a week and text every day. I'm so glad to be able to connect with him in the event and help us do that. And he's a hell of a story writer, laughing the whole time. So give it up for Justin one more time. All right, we're going to keep moving this along. So next is anybody that wants to share a word or a memory or anything can get up and share something. If you want to share something, it's totally up to you, but if you want to, we would love for you to make your way up to the front, so we know how many people we have that want to get on the mic. Anybody want to share anything? You said, Justin said if he can do it, you can do it. I think that's what he said. Well, how about this? Before others decide to share, so I'm gonna, just give me 1 second. Someone that really wanted to come to the event broke her heel like 2 nights ago. And she sent me a message. She was really disappointed she couldn't come. And she sent me what she was going to say, and said I could share it. So I'm going to go and share that. Is that okay? Yep. This is from Shonda Jessie Maurice, I think. I'm sorry, Shonda Jessie Maurice. I hope I said that right. All right, here we go. These are her words. I would have shared that Scott and I met in college. We ended up becoming good friends. In college, you end up having time to sit around and talk for hours. Scott and I did that often. I had gotten into a cycle of partying and drinking beer. One night he told me I shouldn't get dragged down by that environment. That he thought I was special and I should focus on college. I was pretty surprised that he said that to me, but it got me back on track. Also, I never had the opportunity to meet Justin. But I hope he knows how much Scott loved him and talked about him. I'm thankful to Scott for being a kind friend to me and seeing something in me that I couldn't see at the time. Thank you, Shonda, for sharing that. All right, Damian Green, which is actually a good friend of mine, grew up with us too. All right, Damian, go ahead.
All right, how's everyone doing?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say I'm proud to be here. For all of us that grew up in this area, I did not know how to get here. Columbia has changed a lot. Yeah. And all of my classmates there at the table, Eric, and growing up in this area was so memorable. And seeing the growth is like, wow. I remember just being at Oakland Mills. I went to Oakland Mills for 3 years and I went to Camden. I graduated from Camden. But obviously, all of us know that growing up here, it's a close-knit community growing in Columbia, and everybody knew everybody because they either went to elementary school, middle school, or high school together. So that's how you know each other. And just recently, when I've been talking to Eric, and Eric's been talking to me and discussing about the plans and of this memorial service, and I'm just agreeing. I'm like, yes, do that, do this, do those type of things, and connecting with Justin through the email and things like that. But one thing I remember when we were younger, just going over, and Justin can remember. Justin had all the latest video games, the Neo Geo, the disc, the new Sega Genesis. If we were younger, we used to go over to his house, borrow the games, bring it back, and things like that. So that's my memorable of Justin, of Scott, and I'm glad to see all my friends. And as we're getting older and wiser and having children, getting wider, I'm just happy to see each and every one of you guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dan. Appreciate it for the words. Anybody else want to share anything? Nate. I haven't seen Nate in so long. He looks the same he looked like 20 years ago. He does a lot of stuff in his garden. I'm trying to find out what he's doing. I need to take from him. Give it up for Nate.
I wish I would know because this is definitely out of my comfort zone. I would have written something, but so I'm going to probably ramble because I didn't prepare anything. Knowing Scott since freshman year in high school, Went to both high school and college with him. Speaking of knowing him back in high school, as you just mentioned in Sega Genesis, for those of us who were in Scott's room, you probably remember there was a Batman card where it was Michael Keaton with Michelle Pfeiffer. Scott cut his head out and put his head on top of Michael Keaton. And so it was a picture of Scott next to Michelle Pfeiffer. He was then in the Batman card. It was one of those things that Scott did. Scott just did little things that as we all know, was for a lack. Scott was definitely one of those people that made you feel comfortable, made you feel welcome. What else? I had the MAV. Those of you who were in high school with me will definitely remember that car. Scott, myself, Josh, cousin Evan, we'd all be driving around in that for and the go-go bus. Those that remember will. I'm sorry, Mr. Bass, I'm not to say this. We were driving down the pass, Columbia. It was the Gypsy Moth Task Force was the joke. We were yelling out the cars. We were driving down the pass. It was another one of those things that Scott would just do for, in the moment laugh kind of thing. Yes, we probably would have got arrested if we had been seen, but we didn't. So it's as though it didn't really happen, except for in our memories. And then Scott had the Camry, which is the gold package, as those of us who remember. We took a couple of trips down to Florida for spring breaks and so forth. Oh, you Camry. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to spend time with Scott in his dorm in Centerville at the University of Maryland. Like I said, I'm going to ramble here. There are so many different things that we got to do together. Special. So, didn't have anything prepared.
Give it up for Nate one more time. Anybody else want to share? All right. Let's keep it to about 2 minutes so we can move along after everybody has a chance. But we definitely want everybody that wants to speak to speak.
I was Kim Bell at the time, and Scott, and Kia Davis and other friends would hang out all the time, and I used to have a huge crush on Scott when I was in the 6th grade, but he was with Kia, so she was my best friend, so I just, but I used to always be so shy and scared to call him, and I remember I had his number memorized and stuff, but there was one time we got in big trouble I was in 6th grade, he was in 7th, and I don't know if you knew about this question, but we got arrested for sneaking out and egging someone out. So, I tried to protect it, I got in trouble because my sister's the one that told on us, and so I tried to take the flak for all 4 of us, it was me, Kia, Scott, and another friend, and I tried to take the flak, but they found out with all of us, so we all got in trouble, we all got arrested together, but then I moved away in 8th grade, so I didn't see Scott for a really long time, but we did connect on Facebook, and we used to talk every so often, and he was always just a really good guy. I have good memories of him, and it was really sad for me. And for Kia, she's here tonight, but she was really upset too. Thank you.
All right, anybody else want to say anything about Scott? All right, going 5, 4, JB. I was expecting JB to get he moved around here.
All right, yes, okay. I like them brown, yellow, Puerto Rican, and Haitian. JB from the 5 Street. So, we're on our way down to Ocean City. And the go-go van, packed to the roof with natty bows. We got
PG
Porter,
version, PG version.
the PG, yeah, it's very simple. We were, and so I mean, when you live, when we got pulled over and we had to empty out all the beer on the side of Route 50, and cases and cases, the whole bus was filled with beer, and it was a good laugh. I remember how sad I was to pour the beer out, but nonetheless, it was a really tough. Josh Long was with us. The Houston trip, blessed to meet that side of Scott's family in Houston. It took me to Astro World. It's the only time I ever flew first class was down to Houston, and had a great time over there. And Astro World and the water park and the amusement park. I had a season pass for both of them for those 2 weeks. The Gypsy Moth Task Force, when we rode around in that van, Mrs. Glass. I mean, I'm telling you, we were out all night in that thing, driving. And if you know Columbia, you know it's filled with paths, and we would be crammed. I mean, the whole top of the van would come off. So we were standing in the van, driving around all night, only 5 miles an hour. We go real slow down the path, but we would we would see people walking their dogs and joggers, and they would look at us like we were crazy. I mean, we could have been arrested. I mean, it was a great memory. Scott there's just so many memories at Merriweather going to see the Steve Miller Band. We would take the band. That van, your son was, it's so handsome. It's such a handsome boy, so humble. Scott had a handful of girlfriends, and each one was, just scolding hot. And he really was, and because you only imagine if he had that, used car, but he didn't. He was very, humble, and I wish I had half of what he had. When my wife saw a picture of him in '96 and all her girlfriends, they pushed me out of the way and they were like, "Who is that? Oh my God, where is he?" And then it's my friend Scott. And the last time I saw Scott was at the Turkey Bowl, and it was we were lacing up our cleats to go play football on Thanksgiving morning up at the high school. The video games, Miss Glass, the waffles, the pancakes, and those memories I'll never forget. You are a true angel, and you raised a true angel. I miss you. I love you guys.
Appreciate it, JD. Scott was a ladies' man. Everybody loves Scott. All right, Danny. All right. Let's keep it to 2 minutes so we can make sure everybody has a chance.
Was the big fraternity, and they all smoking weed. Me and Ray on the way to the village center, we talked to William Carter about scoring some 40 ounces. Stopped by the house, and Scott's painting the dog like a skunk. I think he's supposed to be painting the garage, but he's painting in here. That's it. Yeah, so those are the type of things we did. You're not sure, you never know. We were just the bad kids. Really. So Scott and all you got, you were big brothers to us, really. You never let us get too out of hand. Not that you could control us. Scott referred to us as cowboys. He came in and left a cloud of dust. But he always called us something about that fighting thing. And I'll still punch anybody for you. I'll punch Greg in the face right now. You don't want that, Dave. I love you. I appreciate you. That's it. Love you guys.
Appreciate you, Danny. Appreciate you. All right, we got Greg. Greg coming to the mic. My mic sounds nice. Check 1. My mic sounds nice. Check 2.
So we got a microphone kind of. So I don't get no dip on. I'm not a good speaker. I'm not keeping up with people. I'm the one person left on the planet that still does not have a damn email. It breaks my heart that I come around like stuff like this. I I've lived with, I've lived with you. We went, saw you at your Marine graduation. I've lived with Nate. My first senior week, I think, was with you, Scotty, and this was when my first senior week, I think I was 13 years old. I got in a lot of trouble with Scotty, a lot of good trouble. I had a lot of firsts with Scotty. I think my first face of the death was in ninth grade at your house, me, you, and Scotty sitting there. Like, whoa, like, a lot of good memories, a lot of great memories. And my one regret is not the past, not getting the staying in touch. I just hate having to do it like that. And this, I'm not a great dude. That's all I got.
Yeah, that was Scott. Like, I do just want to mention real quick the Marine Corps graduation. Greg, John Durant, and Scott. Like, even at 6 hours just to see me graduate. That was Scott. Like, every time he was there, you know, no matter what. All right, anyone else want to say anything? I have a Facebook post that Scott wrote that shows his sense of humor. Does anyone want to read Scott's Facebook post? That's the last one before we move on with the program.
You read it.
I'll read it? Okay, I'll read it. This is Scott's words, not mine. Okay? Just posted on my friend's wall joking around, but I hope he doesn't get in trouble. He's not even married, but I bet everybody thinks he is now. He's still got that New York accent, so I love fucking with him. Hey man, it was good seeing you again and catching up the other night. It's been such a long time. Sucks that we had to end up taking off so fast. I think the last time we had a night end that quick was when we got lost in Brooklyn and then ended up running into the Scarpelli brothers. Well, it might have been more like into one and partially over the other, but I don't think we'll be having any more problems out of them for a while. I heard last week Anthony is still drinking his pasta through a straw. I love New York. Oh, hey, bro. I think I left your gloves, and that might be your ski mask also that I found in my car. Get back to me when you get a chance. I talked to that guy about that thing. I think he's going to see. I think he's going to see things our way. I made him an offer he can't refuse. Oh, how's the wife and kids? Give them my love. Later.
Oh my God.
That was mild for Scott. I didn't want to pull out some others, but it shows us humor. All right, is that it? Anybody else? That's it? Okay, we're going to move on with the program. All right, so, well, hold on, let me put the mic on. All right, if I do one more poem, say word. Word. All right, cool. So this poem, real quick, is part of a social justice project in Richmond, Virginia, where some murals, Richmond's known for like its paintings all over the walls. And I was hired to write a poem reacting to a mural, recorded, and later it's going to show on the wall where you can stand the poem and see the performance. The reason why I'm doing this is because a lot of the poem talks about Columbia, Maryland, where a lot of us were raised, and also where Scott grew up. And I think if we grew up somewhere else, Scott being black, me being white, maybe we wouldn't have had the same friendship. So this is that poem. In the heart of Columbia, Maryland, there's a 14-foot civic monument of a tree with abstract gold human figures as branches. Their feet are tied to each other as one community, one family. On the other end of these human form branches, their arms are unlocked, raised wide open to the sky to represent an individual growth. This was my childhood city, where groups of teenagers looked like a garden in the spring. Where interracial relationships were as common as dominoes in Cuba. A city blended as the colored leaves in the fall, intentionally inclusive, represented by a sculpture named the People Tree. Now, many years later, in the heart of the art district, in the place I now call home in Richmond, Virginia, I stand in front of this mural, an expression of the same hope I had as a child. Two artists, one white painter, one black painter. Each your different childhood, each your own eyes to the world, but together they were able to create this multicolored mural. Purple, pink, yellow, orange, blue, red, black, green, white, and brown. To one, it was dangerous to hold it to a gun. To the other, he had to worry about the fear of a lawn dart. One could see himself inside the Jetsons, while the other notices someone looks like him. One could enjoy the Dukes of Hazzard, the other sees nothing but the Confederate flag. Their brushes stroked from a different place. But through conversation, they're able to bridge the distance between to the last bit of paint dry. Now two worlds exist on the same wall. as they confronted difficult questions. Like, what is the meaning of a Confederate flag on the General Lee? Like, why are there no black people in the future of the Jetsons? Why did that black kid get shot for playing with a toy gun? In America, the problem is as old as the red, white, and blue of the flag. Roots are dying through generations of ignorance. A world that has been barely tolerant, even further removed from acceptance in insurmountable ways of brotherhood. A world that breaks the roots and poisons the leaves in children's trees, such as it did Scott and I when we left the safety of Columbia. And now, in Richmond, Virginia, and other places around the world, walls are beginning to be mended. The reconciled past can confront a present. Because the more we know each other, the less we fear. The less we fear, the more we feel part of the same tree. A trunk is its base, roots strong at the core, with fully developed branches, with colored leaves as beautiful as mountains in November. Connected like Scott and I. Connected like those two artists on the wall, lit by a pink and light blue cloud. With the hope that one day, the color of man's skin will be of no more significance than the color of man's eyes. And when that happens, each of us has the ability to grow to our greater self. And it starts with conversation. So come talk to me and bring me back to that people tree. Thank you. All right, we're gonna move right along. Thank you. Next up is another friend of mine. She lost her best friend and lover, and the poem that she's doing is a way to have a conversation from the other side. She's a wonderful friend. If you've ever seen a giver, it is Tracy. She gives no matter what. Like, I work in a place where I help homeless. She does not work in that place, but she's a resource. Because I go, yo, can you get this from a client that's homeless? And she gets it right away. Give it up for Tracy one time.
Hello, it's me. And I'm laying in the bed where you used to lay beside me. And I'm thinking of the memories and how you still live on beside me. And I love you past your last breath. I love your little spirit. I think your heart beats in the music now because I know that I still hear you. And I can't believe you're gone. I still think you're lost with Amos. Beat us down pretty bad, but those who knew you couldn't blame us. And I cry for you at night, and I still wonder if you hear me. And I hold your pillow tight and just pretend that you're still near me. And I am making progress on this journey. I continue. Because I know you're still performing, you're just at a different venue. And life is quite different now. You know our girls are growing. Had me tripping for a while, like girl, your slipper showing. But I'm picking my head up so my crown won't fall. Because I know we had a king, so I'm still proud and walking tall. And I've learned so many lessons, and I've had so many blessings, and I know God got my back, so I really shouldn't be stressing. And I think of you every day, not a single one goes by. And I know that you're in heaven, but can you hear me saying hello from the other side? I mean, hello from the other side. You know, I cried for you 1,000 times since you left me. And I can't believe some of the things that I've done, but I'm living on for both of us and see your face up in the sun. And hello from the other side. I wish we had a lot more time, but I'm still here, I'm on the grind, and I pretend sometimes that I am fine, but I miss you. But I'm learning to appreciate the showers because they help grow the flowers. And I'm learning to find the sweetness when things are going sour. And I'm learning to ride the waves instead of sinking way below, because that's a part of life. It's just the way the story goes. But I miss our conversations and laying back stargazing, so deeply in love because you're utterly amazing. And I hope I get to love again. That's such a brand new thought. But I gotta make the best of this because for life is all we got. So hello from the other side. You know, I dreamed of you 1,000 times since you left here. And I can't believe some of the progress that I made. But I know your heart was weak, and I also know your soul was saved. So hello from the other side. Every day I'm blessed to be alive because you left me with this great inspiration, a heart full of love, and a poetic dedication. And then he turned to me from the other side, and he held my hands and he wiped the tears from my eyes, and he said, hello, it's me. And I guess it's been some time, but I'm up here in heaven and everything is fine. And And time here is non-existent, so there's no keeping track. And everything here is perfect, so I'm not coming back. And yes, at first I heard you cry, but then they pulled me through heaven's door and said that it was time to say goodbye. And sometimes I come down to hold you just like I did before, but now I'm not allowed to feel the pain of that world anymore. And yeah, I left my body, but it's still me. I'm flying through this galaxy of all the energy. And I host shows just beyond the gate, and I'm performing here with all the greats. And you'll get here too, girl. Just keep the faith because next time it's nothing, so I got the patience to wait. And now I got a lot of our friends up here with me, and we're giving God the glory, and you gotta keep it going, because he's not finished with your story. I love you. Up here, that's all that there is. And I got my wings, I'm watching over you, and I kiss. And I heard some of your poems, and I like the ones that were about me. And there's so many doors to open, and you're holding all the keys. And some of those doors might be heavy, and some of the locks might be tricky, but it's just kept in your face when times all out of the situations are sticky. And I know that I'm in your heart, and that I'm tattooed on your back. And I see you got some of my useless stuff still, so get rid of some of that. Because I want you to love again, baby, you deserve it. And yes, I mess with the lights, the dogs, and your phone, and I do that stuff on purpose. So don't doubt that I'm watching over y'all. Now they say I am an angel, and I know that things are tough for you, but now I see it from a different angle. So hello from the other side. I'm sorry that my body died, but I put up a fight, girl. Believe that I tried, but now I'm free to be everything that I was on the inside. So hello from the other side. It'll be great when you're back by my side, but don't be in no rush. Only God knows your date. It'll be the first time in your life when you're not running late. So goodbye for now. Just turn up your smile, and I'll be back to check on you again after a while. I love you. That doesn't end with death. And as soon as you get here, girl, you'll figure out the rest. And don't doubt that we're all going to be back together one day. And if the effort ever seems too much, just be still and pray. Because he's already told you. He even wrote it in the book, like 2 Peter 3:8. Just go back and take a look.
Beautiful. Give it up for Tracy one time. I'm so blessed they came. I did not ask them to come. I said, yo, you were coming. So I appreciate friendship like that. All right, this next guest, I am so looking forward to seeing him perform. When I was putting this event together, the first person I asked to perform was this person. And I didn't know him, but Scott talked about him a lot, so I kind of did know him. And he's going to be singing one of Scott's favorites, a requested from him, Benji Parecki. Give it up for Benji.
Hey everybody, I see a couple familiar faces I haven't seen in 30 years. We all look the same, it's all good. So I was friendly with Scott in high school. I do have one epic memory of Scott in high school. I think we must have been in the smoking area, and we both decided it was the smartest thing to do that day to skip school. That's what we should do. So we started making our way, I can't say geographically, it was like up a hill to go towards my house, which was in Jeffers Hill. And here comes his vice principal, Mr. Peterson, I think his name was. We're up at the top of the hill, and he saw us, but we weren't sure if he saw who we were, if he could make it, so we bolted. And here he comes chasing. He gives chase. And we got away. We made, I'll meet you, at the end of this path that we went through the woods. And we did not get caught. We got away, and we were never in trouble. I thought that was pretty awesome that a couple high school kids didn't get caught by an adult vice principal. But anyway, fast forward, maybe like 10 years, and I hadn't seen Scott for years, and I was playing gigs. I was touring a lot, but then like when I was home, I was playing in DC, in Virginia, Maryland. And he just showed up at this BET, Ben on Jazz restaurant. And was like, whoa, it's great to see each other, and we're talking. And he really liked this one tune we played, which I'm gonna play. And then like every couple of years, he would just show up, and this is before the internet had all the gigs posted, but he would just magically show up at night. So I took the car and satellite Scott
Mhm.
because he'd just come around. And I saw him this one time. I was like 28 or 29. No, I'm 30. Sorry. And I was playing in Philly, and he just shows up at the gig in Philly. And I was telling him how I met my now wife of 20 years. I had just met her and we were dating. I said, yeah, we're looking for a house. And he goes, oh man, I'm studying to be a realtor. I'll help you find your house. And this is before Zillow and all that. So he had the key to get online and pull up all the listings that he couldn't pull up as a civilian. And man, he and I drove around for 2 or 3 days together. I mean, with breaks between it. And he found us our first home that we bought, which was pretty awesome. So I'm kind of always, I have all these different markers throughout my life where Scott, we just pop up in each other's lives. It's pretty cool. But anyway, he would always, every time we satellite Scott would end up at one of these gigs, he would request this tune, someplace tune, Moving Our Blues for you.
Give it up for Benji one more time.
Wow, that was amazing. You're gonna put Benji one more time. I sent him a message early on and said, Ben, you want to be a part of this. He said, let me check my calendar, yep, I'll vote from there. That's a love right there. Thank you, Benji. That's how people felt about Scott, right? So let me ask y'all a question. Did you come to celebrate Scott's Day? Did you come to celebrate Scott's Day?
Yeah.
All right. So we just got a couple more special treats for you, and then this ceremony is going to be coming to a close. So anyone, or maybe not everyone knows, but Scott sang in the world famous Agape Choir in LA. And they had a special performance with John Legend on CNN. And I'm going to let Anderson Cooper intro the rest. Go ahead, Najee. Well, he's going to get the video going. Now Scott's you're going to be able to see him. Just pay attention. So he's dead center in the choir. I don't think you can miss him. He's like literally dead center in the choir. There'll be a close-up of him too, so just pay attention and you'll see him, and maybe I'll let you know when it's coming up. If that's okay, say word.
Word.
All right.
His grandmother. Today he continues to use music as an instrument of faith and a way to praise the Spirit. He's partnered with nonprofit organizations to fight for an end to poverty and to develop the next generation of minority leaders who can carry the torch of philanthropy. Now that mission brings him to our stage tonight with a song that is a true call to action. Performing, if you're out there, the world famous Agape International Choir, please welcome John Legend.
If you hear this message, wherever you stand, I'm calling everyone, calling every man. New generation, we can't afford to wait. The future started yesterday, and we're already late. We've been looking for a song to sing, search for a melody, search for someone to lead. We've been looking for the world to change. You feel the same. We go on and say, if you're out there, sing along with me. If you're out there, I'm going to believe that you're out there. Stand up and say it loud. If you're out there, tomorrow's starting now. Let's just love the peace we're really fighting for. Oh, we start hunger, we conquer it. We're counting on the grace of us, we're joining hands today. Search for the leader will lead. That you're out there. Stand up and say it loud. You're out there. Tomorrow's starting now.
Yes, sir. Close up.
If you hear this message, wherever you stand, call everyone, call every man. We're the generation you can't afford to wait. The future started yesterday. We're already late.
Give it up for Scott and the Goblin Choir with John Legend.
Right.
How's that? All right, y'all, we got one more special treat. So y'all came to celebrate Scott's life, right?
Yeah.
Scott would want you to celebrate his life. I understand it's hard to lose someone. Believe me, I know. But he would want us to celebrate his life. And I believe he may be here, well, not may, he's here with us. I want to read a quote real quick, and then we're going to get into the last performance. This is Scott's quote. He sent it to me soon after my father passed. I think he would say the same thing today. It's on the back of the program. It's okay to mourn, take that time, but then be happy and remember the things he taught you and the good times you had. Scott Rosenfeld. I think he would want you to be happy for him, and celebrate the times you had. All right, we got one more performance, and this is a real special performance. This is who we came to celebrate. Like I said, and been saying, Scott is a musician, and we are going to play his song, Maggie. He had a love for animals. He rescued a lot of animals. And he had a cat, Maggie, that he loved dearly, which we just went and saw before this. That's with his mother. Without further ado, with a slideshow going with it, the last performance of the night, Scott Rosenfeld, Maggie, with the slideshow. Give it up. Give it up for Scott. The first time I heard that song, Justin sent it to me. Wow, I was with him. That's the end of the ceremony. I don't have a lot of remarks. I'm just overwhelmed with gratefulness for everyone that came today, that was part of this, whether you're on the YouTube Live or with us today. I just hope I did Scott justice, and everyone else here. We had a good ceremony. That's my boy. That's my boy, and I know it's taken a lot of others. So last thing, we have this space till 8 o'clock, so please stay for the last, we have about 30 minutes. Please go pay respects to the family at this table, the mothers, brothers, and other family members. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Eric.
Such a